I'm Olivia Quay. You're watching The Big Story live in the Straits Times newsroom. You can subscribe to our channel so you never miss a single episode. As Singapore targets at least two-thirds of the population to be fully vaccinated by National Day, the Multi-Ministry Task Force on COVID-19 held a news conference this afternoon, giving updates on the roadmap to reopening as well as the nationwide vaccination program. First, Singaporeans between 12 and 39 years old will have their priority window to register their vaccination appointments extended by 1 week to July the 1st. This to allow more time for people to book slots and receive an earlier appointment from the additional slots to be opened soon. Another 500,000 new slots for people to get their first dose are expected to be added in the next few days. And from Saturday, June 26, the national vaccination program will be stepped up. Up to 80,000 doses can be administered daily, up from the 47,000 currently.
In May, we were administering about 40,000 doses a day. When we crossed into June, we pushed our limit and raised it to 47,000 doses a day for June. We will now ramp this up to 80,000 doses every day in the coming weeks, starting this weekend. Second, the first tranche of 500,000 slots will open in the coming days. In fact, starting Saturday and then in the coming days. I know many people have been waiting, especially those in the 12 to 39 age group. You have been waiting to book your appointments and you have registered your interest. I thank you for your patience. With this ramp up, we will be able to open up many more slots. So as I mentioned, we'll open up another 500,000 slots starting this coming Saturday, 26th of June, and you may receive your SMSs either today or tomorrow. So for eligible individuals who have registered for the first dose of vaccination but yet to receive a booking link, you can expect to receive an SMS to make an appointment from today or tomorrow. Third thing, we'll extend the priority for Singaporeans by 1 week. We had hoped to implement this ramp up earlier, but we were constrained by supply. But we are able to do it now. So in view of that, we will extend priority for Singapore citizens aged 12 to 39 years for another week to 1st July 2021. And so if you are Singaporean aged 12 to 39 and not vaccinated yet, please, before 1st July 2021, quickly register and book your appointment once you receive your SMS. After 1st July 2021, we will go on a first-come, first-served basis for the rest of the population.
From July the 2nd, vaccinations will be extended to the rest of the population. This includes all permanent residents and long-term pass holders aged 12 to 39 years old. As with the earlier groups, these individuals can register their interest from next Friday. An encouraging sign, as at yesterday, more than 5 million vaccine doses have been administered.
We have set something quite ambitious. Around National Day, two-thirds of our population being fully vaccinated. So that it will be the milestone that we are working towards. But as I mentioned just now, it's actually not enough. We need to go further than two-thirds, especially given the transmissibility of Delta variant. And for the elderly, go even beyond that. So as to what kind of milestone will be tagged to what kind of opening, and changes in shift in practices, I think it will be part of the roadmap that we are preparing and working out. But I would caution that there's still a lot of unknowns. And this enemy is full of curveballs, always thrown at us. So we are really crossing the river one stone at a time.
Meanwhile, stay-home notices for vaccinated travellers, including returning Singaporeans, could be done away with as the government looks to have them undergo more frequent testing instead. Singapore will also start allowing more foreigners to enter for work, in particular migrant workers and foreign domestic workers. Well, as vaccinations ramp up, the task force is also planning on making several immediate moves, like possibly increasing the dining-in cap to 5 people, currently targeted for mid-July. It's also considering revising public health guidelines for vaccinated individuals.
Within Singapore itself, where it comes to activities and gatherings or events, we could allow gatherings involving just vaccinated persons to have larger group sizes and also relax the social distancing rules in such settings because only vaccinated persons are involved. So that's within Singapore. And this could apply to a whole range of different settings: religious services, concerts, sporting events, and so on. We are working on some new guidelines for people in Singapore to be able to travel abroad, and then when you come back, you either can serve a shortened SHN, the quarantine time under the stay-home notice will be shorter, or may be waived entirely and replaced with some test. And this will depend on the country that you visit.
There's a piece in today's Straits Times written by the 3 task force co-chairs. They say their priority in the next few months will be to prepare Singapore for life with COVID-19 as a recurring controllable disease. A roadmap is being drawn up to shift to this new normal, and it will be done in tandem with achieving certain vaccination milestones. You can read the piece online or in today's paper. There were 23 new cases today, including 14 in the community. 2 are currently unlinked. 11 of the linked cases were identified during quarantine and 1 was detected through surveillance. 9 imported cases were also reported, 4 being Singaporeans or PRs. More details will be released later tonight. Meanwhile, according to an ST analysis, seniors make up almost half of the cases in the 4 clusters in Bukit Merah and Red Hill. As at last night, 98 cases are linked to these clusters, and 46.9% of them are patients aged 60 and above. The median age among all the cases is 51 years old. About 2 in 5 of the seniors in the clusters are not vaccinated, and 56.1% are unvaccinated out of the total cases in these clusters. Tanjong Pagar GRC MP Joan Pereira said that while there are concerns about the risk of severe illness among older patients in the area, not all cases comprise residents in the constituency. They also include stallholders, visitors, and their household contacts. With the growing case numbers, the once lively Bukit Merah View neighbourhood is now quiet, with customers staying away. According to Radin Mas MP Melvin Yong, hawker and shop sales have dropped by up to 70% during this period and have yet to pick up, even with dine-in services resuming. Also in the headlines, the Philippines' move to immediately suspend permits for nurses who want to work abroad could affect Singapore's nursing workforce, as about a third of them are foreign nationals, with Filipino nurses forming the largest pool. According to the Health Ministry, as at end 2019, about 7,600 employees in nursing were from the Philippines. Philippine authorities had suspended issuing employment certificates to work overseas because the annual deployment limit of 5,000 has been reached. We're unlikely to see hazy skies like this year, with the Singapore Institute of International Affairs reporting a low risk of severe haze originating from forest fires in Indonesia. On a scale of green, amber and red, with green being low risk and red being high, the 2021 haze outlook is green for the first time. The low risk assessment was due to several factors like projected weather conditions, as well as improved land management policies by the Indonesian government. In its final edition today, Hong Kong's Apple Daily apologized to its readers for not meeting their expectations. The headline read, quote, "Hong Kongers bid a painful farewell in the rain. We support Apple Daily." Hundreds had queued at newsstands to buy that last copy of Apple Daily, which is known for its scathing opinions and pro-democracy slant. Assistant Professor Dylan Low from NTU weighs in on what the tabloid's exit will mean for Hong Kong's media landscape.
So I think the most direct, immediate effect, particularly for the more liberal newspapers is that it has a very clear chilling effect. And the way I see it, how they can respond is they are either successfully intimidated, or perhaps their coverage becomes even more extreme. And that would, of course, play well into the hands of the authorities. I would also say that the nuance would be lost here, because Apple Daily itself isn't, while it enjoys a very wide readership, it's not exactly the most trustworthy newspapers because of some of the sensational stories that it typically runs. So readers of Apple Daily don't necessarily agree with all its views. But by this act under national security law, I think something in between, the middle ground, the nuance is a little bit lost. Your media landscape is split into either pro-Beijing or pro-democratic camp, and this does not bode well for the media landscape in Hong Kong. But we see variants of small little Apple dailies popping up, possibly run by some of its former staff, maybe run anonymously. But this plays well into Beijing hands, because by decentralize what was a major political actor in Hong Kong, you are essentially choking off the oxygen that supplied gave a lot of fuel to the anti-Beijing, to the pro-democratic force. So they're happy to play whack-a-mole. They're happy if this media decentralized and dispersed into small little media outlets, maybe run anonymously. They're content to deal with it as long as this is not centralized and has the potential to mobilize the masses once more.
And over in the US, speaking publicly about her conservatorship for the first time, Britney Spears pleaded to a judge to end a controversial guardianship that has given her father control of her financial and personal affairs since 2008. Calling the arrangement abusive in an impassioned speech, she said it had left her traumatized and depressed. Spears also said her father and associates regularly threatened her, and doctors forcefully put her on medication that left her feeling drunk. Before I go, a quick check with our colleagues at Live. Movies, which original premiere dates were derailed by the pandemic, are slowly being released. Take the recent A Quiet Place 2, for instance. And this is another one fans have been waiting a long time to see, Fast and Furious 9. More than a year after its planned release in May 2020, it hits the silver screens today. And film correspondent John Louis is here with a review. Hello, John. So, with several movies choosing the streaming route due to the pandemic, Universal Pictures, it waited a full year to release F9 in the cinemas. Was it worth the wait for you?
Well, for fans, it's always worth the wait. It's a big, spectacular kind of a film with car crashes and all the stuff that fans love.
Okay, well, the series is also known for its action set pieces and, well, let's face it, cheesy storylines. Any surprises in this 9th installment of the Fast and Furious series, or is it just more of what fans have come to expect?
Well, fans expect every film to be bigger than the last one. So we've had cars do anything that cars are not supposed to do. And in this one, they go to space in a car. Now, you know what? If you're a Star Wars fan, you'll go like, okay, stormtroopers are like that. They can't shoot straight. We just have to accept it. And yeah, here you have to suspend your disbelief a bit and accept that cars can do anything. And the stunts are pretty spectacular, I'll give it that. And yes, you're right. The story is incredibly cheesy, but it is what it is.
Well, thanks so much, John. You can catch Fast and Furious 9 in cinemas from today. Hey, coinciding with the resumption of dine-in services is the much-anticipated Mirazur pop-up. Mirazur is a 3 Michelin-starred restaurant in France and currently ranks first on the world's 50 best restaurants list. Food correspondent Eunice Kwek was lucky enough to visit just yesterday. Welcome, Eunice. Okay, I'm dying to hear all about Mirazur. It was dealt a blow, though, when Phase 2 heightened alert it happened. It only managed to open for 2 days, I believe, before needing to be closed. The downtime, however, it gave them, more time to further research and develop its final menu. So, how was it?
So, well, firstly, I was just really happy to be back dining in at a restaurant, and I could feel that same energy from the staff. So there are actually 4 themes for the menus throughout the pop-up. It's leaves, fruits, roots, and flowers. And my tasting was actually for the leaves menu. Interestingly enough, I actually felt that the dishes which showcase the vegetables and herbs outshone those that had meat and seafood. And I also like the fact that local ingredients were incorporated into the dishes, which I think the team had a bit more time to research how to use them, how to add them in. The only odd part actually about the dining in was that, well, there was no music in line with the current restrictions, and I think you don't realize how important that is until it's not there anymore.
Right. Of course, spaces for such a renowned restaurant are incredibly hard to come by. So, Eunice, are there any seats still open?
Yes, you can still get seats. Bookings are available for lunch and dinner services that run till July 18th, and they are priced from $388 plus for a 6-course lunch. The pop-up is actually extended till September 4th, so bookings for July 20th till then will then be released in the coming weeks, so you could still get a spot, yes.
Oh, very good news. Thank you so much, Eunice. That was food correspondent Eunice Quek on the world-famous Mirazir pop-up at the members-only Mandala Club. The Friday pages in tomorrow's paper will have more weekend picks from my colleagues at Life. You can visit straitstimes.com for more news and videos, and of course, subscribe to our YouTube channel by hitting the red button below. I'm Olivia Quay. See you tomorrow on The Big Story.